All right, guys, it is Wednesday. This is not my normal streaming time, but today I'm going to be taking a look at Fractured. With that, I am Jahlon. This is the Paradox Gaming Network, and today I'm covering Fractured, which is a game in development. A lot of people who have been around for a while know that I backed this game because I like isometric downward looking games, and I'm a big Diablo fan. I like Path of Exile. Now, I do want to start off the show where I did make a mistake. In the video that I did last week, I said that some stuff was going to be included in this build. Prometheus contacted me and he was like, hey, you kind of crossed your wires, and I went back and I looked, and sure enough, I did. Some of the stuff that I talked about that would be in this build is actually in June's build. This weekend is the open testing weekend, so that means today I get to be in because I'm a founder. I bought a founder's pack, and then Prometheus upgraded it for me so I could start some content creation. Everybody's going to get to play starting tomorrow, and you'll notice over here on this announcements page, did you know that you get free access to Alpha 2, Test 3, or even permanent game access by playing during the open play test? You rank in one of the top 5 things. Prometheus is cool. I'm gonna tell you guys outright, guy is awesome. I used a word in my video. I called him a feisty developer, and that's not an insult. He's feisty. He's energetic. He's constantly zipping around, talking to people, contacting people. So he actually said to me in a PM, he's like, yeah, you taught me the word feisty. But like I said, awesome guy, has given me some alpha keys in the past. Hopefully, if we start getting a little bit of content creation ball rolling around here about Fractured, might get a couple of more. With that said, we're going to dive into Fractured. Let me hit a little bit of audio. And so right here on the side, if you guys want to play, any of you can jump in tomorrow and you can play. There's 5 categories that you can win a permanent alpha key, or you can get free access to Alpha 2, or even permanent game access. But like I said, we need to blow up the numbers, kick your friends, lift the rocks, get them in here. We need to put up some good numbers, not only to support a good company, a good Western company, but hopefully I can, do a good showing, get some alpha keys, hand those out. How do we get keys for this game? You don't need a key. It's going to be an open playtest tomorrow. I'm going to link this for you guys. This is the open playtest link. Like I said, if you haven't made your account already, hook me up. Use the link down below. The Fractured icon is my referral link, so do that for me, and you guys can get in here and test. Prometheus gave me 5 keys a while back. I gave those out. People have absolutely loved it. So characters, we're gonna create a new one. I still love, man. I gotta say, I love this. It's still amazing. Underwear color as a select choice. I mean, that's great. That's great. Now, pretty basic appearance selector. That's okay. When does the open play start? May 28th, 2 p.m. CEST, which is 8 a.m. Eastern. Now, I know a lot of people have said to me the hair it's not enough. Like we get like the knot top, we get the ponytail, and we get nothing. It's okay. Obviously they just want to do a few. This is stuff that, okay, yes. Do we have some faces? Do we have some beards? Yes. Cosmetics should come last with limited team. Yes, absolutely. You need just enough. You need just enough to make sure that it's going to work. And then you work on your game systems, because you could spend a bunch of time, effort, energy right at the very beginning trying to make the characters look great, and then find out that a bunch of stuff doesn't work. Or like Dynamight had with when they were in development, when Unity and Improbable had their little squabble, you don't want to be like really, really deep into the art assets only to find out that what you want to do is no longer viable. Now, another thing I like the way they're going with this, where they're giving you a couple of backgrounds, a couple of, starting abilities. But the truth is, it really doesn't matter. If I decide to be a gladiator at start, which I'm going to be, and then I decide to later on I don't like being a gladiator to be an arcanist, that's okay, because I can switch my gear and I can go and learn all the abilities I need to learn, and I'm good to go. I think you guys, if you haven't seen this before, I think when we get into game and we start learning the abilities, I think you're going to find this is a very, very excellent system. So attribute selection, here's another thing. I really like the fact that I'm seeing the changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna change some. What did I do? I like a lot of times in games, attributes don't really mean anything, or you don't know what they do at character creation. As I mess with stuff on the left, you're gonna see numbers over here on the right changing. You're gonna see the armor change, the carry weight change. So we're gonna call this guy Paradox. Choose my starting area. Okay, isn't there usually 3 starting areas? Oh, yes. No, I see 2 this time. I've started up here a bunch of times. I'm gonna go down here for a change. And here we go. All right, so right off the bat, I can tell you Prometheus has listened to some feedback. At first, the original way that this was written was pretty confusing. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to stay in town. I was out and about in the world. I was out and about in the world looking for stuff. Somewhere in here, there, from the farmland in town. Okay, so somewhere in here, I'm gonna find the farm. Now, one thing I do know, it irritates. I know people aren't isometric downward fans. Like, if you notice, like, I can zoom in about this close, but this is really as far out as I go. Needs a glow around the tune, especially when under buildings. Yeah, that's a quality of life thing that they can add in later. You really don't want a lot of that stuff going on while you're testing, because then you're never 100% sure about what's causing your issues. Let's see. Now, we're all trained to go to the green icons. Here we go. Look at this. We go to a green icon and we find our cotton plants. But we don't need cotton. We need wheat. That's okay though. Look at that. We went to the other green dot and we found some wheat. Field wheat, and then if you notice right up here at the top, I'm gonna get some knowledge points. 250 knowledge points. Knowledge points are important. We will be exploring that knowledge wheel in June. But there are you do still need knowledge points in this current build, because when you go out and you slap beasts around and you get your points, that's how you're going to do your build. Anyway, I like this. This is an improvement from last time. I like big, nice, neat, clean. I'm gonna make some flour. I like it. Now we need to make some bread. Let's see. Craft dough and a workbench next to the farmland. Okay. Gotta go find. Okay, some more flour. Let's see. Let us find the workbench for the dough. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking that my brain tells me I might want to swing into a house, because the house will have a cooking fire. Think here. Okay, here we go. We come over here. Nope. Oh. Where do I make dough? It says next to the farmland. Green Star? Yeah, I'm gonna head up to the Green Star in a second. I want to take... Oh, let's just go up to the Green Star. Because we know better. Because we're trained, right? We're trained to go to the Green Stars. Let's go up to the Green Stars. You hadn't heard about this game. Mind telling you what it's about? It is an open world, isometric, downward looking PvP game. Three different planets, 3 different types of PvP rule engagements. So that's going to be important. I will be going into more details when we get into like the more AA10, the Arcade or the Ashes level stuff that I do. I probably do some of that for Fractured. If a bunch of people decide that they really like Fractured, then yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so I come up to the Green Star. Hint, the green stars on the map help you to find where to fulfill your tutorial tasks. Ashes? Am I just blind? Am I not seeing dough? Because I don't see dough. I see that I need dough there. And yeah, so we're gonna go back down. Let's see. There's only 1 green star. And so we're gonna go back down to the farmland. That's where he says it is. I went to the other town. I should have gone to the one where I knew where stuff was. Oh, this is kind of cool. Make that yet. Go down. Back down to the farm. Back down to the farm. I feel bad for the dude too. Feel bad for Paradox. Running around, you ain't gonna be got no shoes on. Yeah, there's the fleshing beam. Let's check one more time. There's no other tab. Here's the flower. We're gonna run around this farmland. You know, the bad part is I know people are always like, I don't like isometric games because I have to click to move. And I was like, yeah, I know. But the cool thing is if you really get it into it, you can actually program your mouse, or you can program your keyboard to emulate mouse commands. All the interesting things you learned when you're a one-handed gamer. Need to find dough to make dough. On wild garlic. So guys, I think I'm gonna have to put up to Prometheus that maybe they need to put a green arrow wherever they want us to go. Let's head over here near the cotton, because obviously we found the workbenches to make flour. Oh, here we go. Could you be it? Simple workbench. Dough, look at that. Okay. Okay, here we go, and we're gonna make our bread. So this is better. I will say, the only piece of feedback I would give it on that little note is they might either need to put a green arrow or move that bench area so it's like more visibly seen because you're coming from town. But that's okay. Let's see. So here's our skills and abilities, right? And another interesting thing about this game is you have to do your build based on points. Presets. So create a new ability preset to memorize when resting. So you can have, at this point, I can have 5 presets, and then I get 16 points. And so that's 4, 8, 2, 10, 2, 12. So I have enough points that I can put in all of the abilities. What's going on here? Anyway, here's my new preset, and this is important because you have to map out not only points but your abilities. So this is kind of like the D&D mage sort of mentality. You can accumulate like 500 abilities, but you can only, load so many of them per day. You can only have so many of them like ready to go. One thing I will point out is, let me switch down to here. You will notice up here behind my face, is my health bar, my food bar, my energy bar. That's easy. You'll have to. It's got like a survival-esque mechanic. It's not a big deal. You usually, I very rarely ever have hunger problems when I'm actually playing. I run into hunger problems all the time when I'm streaming because I'm never paying attention. All right, so I'm gonna go to sleep here. And as I rest, I complete my rest at a campfire or fireplace, and I'm gonna load my new preset. So I'm going to memorize this preset, and then up comes my abilities. Now, I want to put that on R, that there, and that there. Let's see, we're going to craft some linen weave. Alrighty, craft rope. First of all, it makes me nervous they had me craft 60 bandages. It's like, yeah, dude, you're going to die. Craft some rope. Oh, we're going to make our weapon. I like it. Okay, so craft a rope. Oh, okay, cool. We've changed it up a bit. That's cool. What's my take on Fractured so far? I will tell you that this is my third time streaming Fractured. It is my probably 5th or 6th time making content for Fractured. I was making content, not streaming it. So yes, definitely a game that I'm going to continue to play. I'm not sure if it's ever going to become like my #1 game, and I'm going to be honest, it's probably not ever going to become my #1 main game, only because personally I'm so invested into Ashes and loyalty. Steven did make me a content creator. He got me. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Now we lose everything. Oh, I'm stuck. What's going on? I'm in a tree. Oh, we've got a problem. We are stuck. We are floating. Oops. Hold on. Can you do some combat versus AI? I did. I can run back up there so you can see it. No problem. Let me just make a couple other bits and pieces. 100 and Prometheus, we need to figure out why I'm getting wild frames. I'm not even moving, but standing, that wolf moving shouldn't be causing this, but I'm above 90. We're gonna say I'm above 90. And then in combat, I am dipping. I did see a 66 in there. I saw a 62. Remember, this is an early alpha, so this is not completely optimized. But I mean, even still, I'm not dipping below. I am not dipping below 50. 57. Oh, there's a 50. So I mean, I'm not getting into the 5 frames per second. I am not getting into that. Uh-oh. Somebody hit me with a question I don't know. Top of my head. I feel like I'm bad. Fractured follows a buy-to-play business model. This means that a single initial purchase gives you permanent access to the game without any content restrictions. On top of that, the game features an item store selling cosmetic perks and an optional VIP membership. The VIP membership is a monthly subscription plan to be around $10, and it says dollars a month. It provides the following perks: discount on store items, unique cosmetic rewards for accumulated VIP time, other vanity rewards we might think of in the future, additional study slots, increased knowledge points gains. Oh, we gotta talk to Prometheus about that. Okay, so here, what we're doing here right now is I'm gonna hunt spider willow hatchlings in the hills north of town, and I'm gonna discover the spell Magic Missile. Now, as you see, I got this little icon down here. I have killed wolves. Now, wolves down here don't have a ability. They just have a basic attack. Young wolves. Let's be specific. You come down here for Black Widow hatchlings, and as you scroll down, there's basic attacks, but there's also this skill and ability. And this is the knowledge system that we were talking about. I don't know what ability it has. Well, I do, because it tells me over here in my quest that this is going to be magic missiles. But right now, I only know 5% about Black Widow hatchlings. I know nothing about their strength, their dex, their armor, their elemental resistance, their base attacks, or their skill and ability. But for your tutorial, you're going to learn about this one really quick. So, oh. So not only are we getting knowledge points, new ability discovered, magic missiles. So I got this. So look, I love it. Prometheus, great job right here. I love idiot arrows. I love idiot arrows. Because if you make idiot arrows, then it means your game is going to produce a better class of idiot. But you come down here, magic missiles. Fire a barrage of magical projectiles. Emmet, that must be Italian. Keep in mind, the developers, they're Italian, so if there's typos, don't bust their chops. Aimed at a target creature. The victim is entitled to a willpower save. Hey, there's willpower. A willpower save. Throw to negate the damage of each projectile. So we found out what willpower does. It's your saving throw against magic damage. Did that say that anywhere? Nope. But we know because we read. I'm gonna come down here and ability unlock. Do you really want to spend 1,200 knowledge points to unlock magic missiles? Well, yes, I do, because I'm an old school D&D. Oh, and let me zip down here real quick, because you can see I'm getting kind of sleepy. I'm like 3/4 sleepy. I'm gonna sleep here, and that should knock out my sleepiness. There we go. I'm a big boy now. I can go back out into the world. We're gonna do this, memorize this, and now we have new stuff. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna tell you that when I look at a game that's in development, I get it. Everybody's tired of the Kickstarter games. We got burned by Chronicles of Illyria. That is just a huge fiasco. It's funny because in just a couple of minutes when we jump into the game, you're going to see that this is playable. It needs a lot of polish, but I want you guys to remember this isn't an Asian import game where alpha is just localization. This is literally them crawl, walk, run. Let's build a little, let's test a little, let's build a little more, let's test that. And it's a cycle. It's a process. So we're gonna get into that. But what I do want to focus on, let me zip over here and go to the website. I want to talk about their website particularly. I know a lot of companies can throw up a website. It's not the fact that a good-looking website should convince you of anything. Come to this webpage, and the first thing is they have one. So that's, checkbox. And this isn't that complex. I could build this. It would, take me a couple of hours, but I could build this. I can't actually click on the demons, just so you guys know. Over here in the races, there are 3 races. There are humans, there are beastmen, and I can't click on the demons because not safe for work image pops up. But they went through and they went beyond just a basic web page. They actually made a pretty good looking web page with all the information that I'm looking for as a content creator right on the front page. Now, as we scroll through, let me, goodbye grind, welcome knowledge. This right here is a big thing that got my attention about Fractured. And like I said, one of the big things I was waiting for was the knowledge system. And again, I apologize. That was my mistake. That's actually in the next build. But the whole way that they've done Fractured is amazing. I love it. And then the fact that you don't have to wait until end game to join your friends. It's been this line that's kind of, stuck with me. Time to enjoy the freedom of a MOBA with the persistence of an MMO. That's like a really bold statement, and I have started to see a little bit of that. A little bit of that. It's kind of like I kind of want them to tweak that a little bit to say time to enjoy the freedom of with a MOBA with the persistence and the progression of an MMO, because I don't want people to think that you're going to log in and have a new character every day. That's not it. So persistence is there, but also there is progression. And then action combat, obviously in an isometric downward looking game, you could do tab, but it flows a lot better with action. The fully interactable environments, I've seen this a little bit, little bit of what they're talking about, and then of course building and governing an empire. Towns are going to be in the next build. I do apologize, guys. I went back through my notes. I realized what had happened. I was working on a video and my daughter had walked in, so I had opened something and I shuffled some tabs around. So I actually flipped the tabs. I thought the militia system was coming in June, and I thought the other stuff was coming today. That's just my bad. So don't beat up on Dynamight Studios. But when we're on their webpage, a couple of bits and pieces that, you know, I like. There's a lot of information here. I really, really like a webpage that has a lot of information already on it. Some of this stuff I'm not gonna jump into because I'm logged in. So like the leaderboard, the guild profile, the hero profile, my recruits, there's people's names up there. I'm not gonna jump into that stuff. But I do like that they have a referral system, and down below you'll see a link for Fractured. That's a referral link for me. But this is where they really impressed me. If we go into the design journals first. Now, first off the bat, the design journals were from 2017, 2018, when they first started. But they gave a lot of information. So I'm just going to jump into the very first one they did. The 3 races, the 3 gameplays. When I saw this got me right like that, because I was reading the planet you start in, which in turn means you're surrounded by radically different environments and you'll have access to different resources. What types of abilities, spells, and crafting proficiencies are easily available to you is on your planet. The society you live in. So they're basically developing 3 different societies, 3 different planets. And as you read all this, and I'm not going to read all of this, if you guys need the link, it's fracturedmmo.com. But as you get into it, I can clearly remember the day that I saw this, and I was like, the first thing I saw was like, oh my God, no. I was like, okay, maybe Bearkin, maybe Wolfkin. I know my friend Wolfus would jump on a Wolfkin right away. And I was like, demons. I was like, hold up, time out. We got a game. Xenexia, you got into it from my vids. Awesome. That means a lot to me. Hearing that means a lot to me, because it means I'm reaching people for them, and that's important. But I saw this and I was like, demons. How many games do you get to play a demon? Like a real demon, not like Arcage in the demons that are humans, but like for 4 minutes every 30 they can turn into a demon. And I'm reading this and I'm like, alrighty, and I'm like, vampires, shadow demons, alpha infernals. That was it. That I was sold right there. That was enough to sell me. I threw down some money when their Kickstarter came about. That was enough for me, because I'm gonna be honest. I say all the time on my show that you can't really enjoy 2 games at the same time. Like, you can't have 2 main games, but you can have a main game and a side game. And Fractured, I think Fractured is going to come out, and I'm going to, be enjoying it. And it's probably going to interfere with my content creation, because I'm going to be playing Fractured instead of making content. But the big thing for me is that they never stop doing updates, and that's important for me. So you see, I'm just going to roll back. April 23rd, February 10th, December 26th, December 9th, October 9th, August 17th. Those are the dev updates. And then you come into the news, and we're going to talk about this one right here at the top a couple of times during the show. And then this is what I did. I grabbed the roadmap to Alpha 2 Test 3 when I made my video, and then this one as well. I screwed that up. My bad. So, but they're always posting. May 23rd, May 12th, April, March. And on top of that, they're always posting, and they're always developing the game. What's up, Panda Fair? The other thing, I love when developers are active in their community. And like I said, Prometheus has PM'd me on several occasions. We talk. I make a misspeak in a video. He's there. He's there to, hey, you said this wrong. The last time I streamed Fractured, I said something wrong. He contacted me. I chopped it up when I did the video. And then I just love the fact that there is activity. Spread the word. Play free. Get a key. Open playtest. So that gives me confidence. We're not even in the game yet. I like to look at a company. I like to look at how they present themselves, and then I like to look at what they're actually showing off. Because you all know, you all have been burned, you all have been scammed. Every time you report a bug, a big bug, he replies and fixes it fast. Yes, absolutely he does. I see that. I have, like I said, I'm busy with like my little part of the world. What I'm trying to get done in this pandemic is killing my ability to make any progress. So I haven't had a chance to do a lot of testing. But I jump in here and I see him. That's what I like to see. One last question somebody asked me. Is Fractured something I'm interested in? Yes, absolutely. I want you guys to know that I am never going to sit here and stream the popular games because I'm trying to get your views. What are you still doing here? Nobody ever stays this long. This is the end screen. Well, since you're here, there's a couple other videos I think you should check out. And all those names, those are my patrons over at Patreon. I couldn't do this without them. So, big thanks to them for all their support.